to the hard bait boxes, right? This is our TopWater box. But before we jump to that, and it's going to be a short video, but before we jump to that, I'm going to show you what I ended up with on our other boxes, okay? So what we ended up with was our shaky head box is now empty. There's nothing in that box. Totally empty. Might be Big A bait home, who knows for sure. Our box that was just our basically hooks and sinkers, right? We've now switched it up to snaps and shaky head. And yeah, I ran out of room. But I'll try to show you what I have in there. So I've kind of organized it to our 16th ounce shaky head jigs. That's VMC finesse rugby jigs. 1/8 ounce VMC finesse rugby jigs. I'm not separating out colors, but I suggest get a couple in each color, packs or whatever. Then we have our Bagley shaky heads, which I only have 16th ounce in those, and then these let me get one out where you can see it. The other VMC, like Half Moon or whatever. Awesome for shaky head too, though, or for pretty much anything. Like you see, I have this rigged up on it. And then we just have a couple different sizes of hooks when I'm rigging up like a Zinker's weightless or whatever. And then we've got our weedless Ned heads, the bigger Ned heads you guys have seen me talk about. They've got a good chunk of weight, but a fairly small hook. I like those. Then our skirted Ned heads, which I haven't talked about much because honestly, I think those kind of suck. I haven't had a lot of luck with that. I like just a regular old Ned head, which we have here in the front. Then with what we stuck with, we still have our different types of rattles, and then all of our different sizes snaps. Over here we have the broken neck or wobble heads. We still got these we're dealing with. Nowhere to put these yet. And then our bobber stops, right? We got a couple different types of those. So all that, kind of our terminal tackle type deal. Good to go in there. Shaky heads, snaps, all that kind of stuff. So we'll be putting it up along with our BFS soft baits we didn't even touch, but then we also made us a new swim jigs, heads, and baits, right? So we'll have a little bit of everything in there, and I've kind of simplified it for myself. I finally found a place to put our bigger swim baits we were getting from AliExpress. We've got the wobble heads, not the bobble heads, wobble heads. We've got these propeller cheapies, and then a couple of the Mega Bass ones in the 16th ounce. Remember those? We can use. We've got our Berkeleys, which kind of typically is what I use. I like the 1/4 ounce ones with about this size swim bait. So you'll find out I'm going to be downsizing swim baits, and I'm hoping Big A's is sending us some swim baits. I'm hoping that they're these size. I finally found a place to put those little ones, and then these are some of our heads we're going to be trying. I did take that one. It's got a little bit of rust. It's still a strong hook. I'm going to try to sand it down, and hopefully it'll last. But I think I found that's a Jewel Baits, I believe. So I think I found a way to get that style. I like that. Just that little simple wire weed guard. Put a little swim bait on the back of it. If you're not wanting an underspin, like the Berkeleys and several other brands are, you're just wanting a head for that with a sort of a weed guard. So I'm going to... more info on that. But then I've kind of simplified up, since I hardly ever use a regular jig. I've simplified. I have some of these more like a ball style. Wait, no, the ball style's in the center. A little heavier in the ball style finesse jigs I have in the center, just because that was the least amount of room. I have more of these little bitty guys. These are like the Bitsy Bug style. They're kind of like a Arky style, but with the swim head. A bunch of those over there, and then the Ned bait little jigs over here. These are actually work pretty good if you stick a TRD on them, or like the Big A's Ned baits, right? Stick one of those on there, just bob it around. But a lot of times I find that I just like sticking this on a regular old Ned head. But anyway, so we've got that box kind of going, and I'm gonna dive a little more into, if not for sure this season, over the winter, tracking down some different, and this season also, but trying to track down a few different underspins that I actually like better than these. If you guys remember right, one episode I had an issue, and I think it may have just been a bad one. I had a problem keeping fish pinned on this bait, not necessarily this exact bait. But I do like these. You put, like I mentioned, this size anyway, swim bait on these. You get too big, and like this one's a cut down one. You get too big, I just don't like it. I'm finding I don't like the real big swim baits. So anyway, more about that later. We got that box organized. And something, I'm getting ready to put it in there. So that whole side, that whole one box, doesn't look like it, but that whole box right here is done. So then I'm going to jump to the other box, and this is the first one in it, the TopWater. But right before I do that, one more thing. If you guys remember right, the chatterbait box I went through, I forgot to show you guys. I did go ahead and I made our, and I think, was it Jay that called it a Rapture variant? But we took the Rapture style and actually took that right off a Rapture jig from Omega Custom Tackle, put it on our $3.50 AliExpress, so I could get that smaller size hook, but hopefully still get the same hunting style that we were getting with our Rapture jig. So, I'll be looking forward to that video. If you guys watch the chatterbait one, you can see what I'm talking about. We're going to have a little test and see how that works. So we got that. All that stuff's already done. Already done, ready to go. So all those boxes are done, need put up. So let's jump to it, and I'm gonna try to blast through these sometime tonight. I don't know. I still got a few things to get ready for tomorrow. We got to go eat here shortly. I don't know what we're doing tonight, but hopefully it's not going through tackle boxes. Who knows though? Oh, and to do that, I did have to waste the blade. The blade on the $3.50 bait I had to basically cut into because I didn't want a chance trying to figure out how to bend out and bend that back. So I just cut the blade off. No big deal. That bait's done forever being back to that style of bait, but I don't care, right? Because I've got it rigged up the other way. So yeah, let's get to it. Just like our other one, should I dump these out? Actually, this one's a lot simpler. I do not have a ton of frogs, but I will show you this thing. The frogs I have, I'm finding that it is hard to talk me out of a booyah. Let me just angle this camera up. It is hard to talk me out of a booyah poppin' pad crasher. I have 3 of those. It's hard to talk me out of this color right here, actually. This one, though, is unlucky. It doesn't look like it. It's had a lot of action, and I have caught several, but I lost the one previous to this one. And for whatever reason, call me crazy, I think I left the legs just a touch longer, and it was a luckier, it just was a better bait than this one. Does that make sense? You guys ever had that? So I honestly need to just force myself to throw out that one and buy another one and just pay attention. Maybe keep this one until I get the other one and cut the legs just a hair longer. If you guys noticed, I have cut the legs on all of them, and they are all, I believe, longer by a little bit than this dude. It's crazy that I think it makes that much of a difference, just a little extra length here and there. But I'll be honest, these baits here, not as much action as this one. Black belly, this one should do the same thing, but I don't know if it's a difference in the yellow on the legs or what, but I feel that these do not get hit as much as that color. And I have a regular one, and I know I need to fix these legs up. I think I need to oil them is all I need to do, I think is what I need to do to these legs. So I need a little work there, but I'm not taking none of those out. All those do work, do catch fish. Now, I've tried all these littler baits, and I'll show you some of these littler frogs. Everybody's thinking, oh, look at that cute little thing you throw it on BFS gear. It's awesome, right? This thing sucks for hookup, so it's immediately gone. I don't even remember what brand it is. Here is, or these are either Booyah or, no wait, that's not a Booyah. This is a Booyah, the smaller one. I'll be honest, don't like it. I feel I don't get the hookups right. This guy, don't like it. Whatever brand, that may be a Live Target or a whatever. These I was still up in the air on. I really like how quick you feel like you can, the hooks will catch you. So I'm gonna give these just a little more of a shot. These baits I just picked up. I've not even fished these yet, so I can't throw them out yet. I'm gonna try them. Our Whopper Ploppers, yeah, I'm kind of limited on, I don't have that many Whopper Ploppers. You really don't need a ton. I got those little micros that I'm not sure if they're going over as well, and I really think this bigger one I don't like as well as I do the little ones. But before I throw it out, I need to track down a white, not this yellow. You know what? Actually, I don't like that yellow one. I'm throwing it out. I just don't like it's too much of a yellow. I have more luck. In all honesty, I feel anyway. The first year, I felt that big Whopper Plopper flat tore them up. First couple years, the Whopper Plopper came out, and I need to put a hook on this guy. Actually, I need to pull those baits back out and steal the hook back off and get this guy going again. Because these more like subtle colors, I like. Like that guy, and then even this big one. But I feel I have more luck overall on a Whopper Plopper this size right here. The big one, yeah, it can kind of sometimes, and you'll be surprised how little a fish, or back in the day, how little a fish would hit that big, huge one. But I find I kind of like that. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to actually put this tail feather on this guy, put another hook on this guy. I may send this one packing too. But I feel you don't need a ton of Whopper Ploppers, just a couple. The Whopper Plopper making that plopping noise, them fish find it. I don't think a color is a huge difference unless it's some absurd, crazy too bright. Like I think sometimes that white may be too much, and if it's too no color at all. But these have just enough, like in a low light, that little bit of chartreuse, and then this color during the day anytime I feel works awesome. But here's the color right here, whatever color that I forget the name of it. I feel that'll work all the time. It just works. So that tail's back there, when it's flopping, that color is spinning. So that little flat, that color, whatever color that tail is like flashing around back there. I think has a little something to do with it. But yeah. So those are staying where they're at. Here's the only thing I am gonna get out of here. I think I'm done messing with any. I'm going to keep the little Sonora ones, the little bitty poppers from AliExpress. But the one thing that I do love on high-end stuff is my Mega Bass, the Pop X, the Pop Max, and the little baby Pop X is in a different deal. So I've got 3 of the Pop X. I've got 3 of those. I was trying to make myself like these, and honestly, if I kept these, I'd probably add little tails on them, and they may be all right, but they're going bye-bye. These right here, these worked. If you guys watched the little shootout, I'll be honest. These, they didn't come with tails. I added tails, and when you add a tail to these baits, I don't know if you could hardly tell the difference, but since I already own these, and I feel like I'm keeping those. I like the colors a little better on those. I do like this one. I'll be honest. I'm probably going to keep that one and just put it right with because I feel that it's almost there on the same level as far as when a decent bite's going. But if you're just having that issue, like I think they just aren't quite 100% into TopWater. Sometimes that Mega Bass, little bit difference it makes would make the difference. So those 3, I just don't throw them ever, like ever. So they're going bye-bye. So we didn't really drop much. We only dropped like 5 baits. So I'm keeping, oh boy, I need new hooks for this guy. This guy's getting rusted. Got just a bass color. There's my favorite color. I had 2 of these. I did lose one. These are awesome baits. That color right there, I just absolutely love. This bait is getting tore up. I think I've switched out the hooks a couple times. And then this color, I'll be honest, I'm not as a big a fan. But it does work, and I need to just leave this one out and get some different hooks for it. I don't know why, but that one just got rusty. It's sitting in the box with these. These are not. Those don't look rusty. That dude just got rusted up somehow. Still a good bait. Just need to switch out the hooks. That back hook is a little the front. I must have just stuck it in. That was wet or something. I don't know. Or somebody. I don't know. I don't know what happened. So I'm gonna just, for now, I'm gonna leave it over here. We're gonna call that done. We're gonna end this video. Not even 15 minutes in. So I didn't take much out, but this box was already pretty much right there anyway. So I did get rid of a few of those AliExpress baits. They did work, and just so you guys know, almost everything I'm throwing out works. You guys see how many baits I have. I only, so It's not like, oh, these are junk. This isn't that kind of video. This is just, these got to go because I'm making room for, you know, the other stuff, and I may want to add. And as you can see, I'm going to put new baits on that, put it back. I didn't add hardly any room for this. I need to get that newer, a different frog, throw that one out. Just, it's a crazy luck thing in my head. And I need to get more luck into this one because I did lose the other one, and that one has not been as lucky as the other one. But I could be because I've been throwing more of those Sonora poppers. Back in the day, that's all I threw for like a whole season. I don't know. We'll find out. Don't worry. Stay tuned. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to jump right back on to another video on hard baits. So stay tuned. This one will be quick. I'll be right back. It's showing 2 people viewing, but I'll be back. I got